Hi guys, well today we're going to be taking a look at another Intel Z170 board from ASUS. This is the Maximus VIII Impact. Now we've seen the Impact under different chipsets in previous generations. This board is of course the smallest option that the ROG team provide. So the Maximus VIII Impact is a mini ITX board which is really designed for those super small compact system configurations. Although small in size, the Maximus VIII Impact still retains those trademark ROG attributes seen on the larger offerings in the Maximus lineup. So across this dainty little board we have such features as Supreme FX and advanced overclocking options. Now in terms of the cost of Impact, it is available to buy right now for £185 in the UK, $238 if you are over in the US. So quite a pricey board really, and usually if you are downsizing, you expect something like the motherboard to be a bit cheaper. But we are reminded of course that there are very few options of this caliber around, and so it is quite a unique choice. And anyway, we're going to be checking out this in quite a lot of detail today to see if it really is worth that asking price, so enjoy. Right guys, well we are going to begin with an unboxing on this board. So here is the packaging for Impact. You've probably seen this before with other ROG boards. We've got this nice red box here, and we've got this flip lid which kind of gives you all those detailed features which are kind of now familiar with the Z170 generation of boards from the Republic of Gamers. We're going to go through these as we go into the review, into this video. We're going to have a look at these in quite a lot of detail, so we won't go through them now. But if we just flip this box over, you can see there we've got some more features, but also we've got the technical specifications. That runs from the CPU all the way to that form factor, and then we've also got the back panel I/O ports and a schematic diagram. Okay, and inside the box we've first of all got that motherboard itself inside that nice cardboard tray and the plastic lid there. We'll have a look at that later. And then inside here we've got a massive selection here of bundled accessories. So first of all we've got the user guide. As you can see, that is pretty thick and it covers every single feature that you can think of. And I've actually had a look at this myself, and it does cover literally everything you need. So if you do get stuck, refer to that. We've got the rear I/O shield which is cushioned. CPU installation tool which helps you to get that CPU onto the board if you do need that assistance. We've got the Wi-Fi antennas that works with the Wi-Fi module already on the board. We've got the series here of 4 Sattar cables, because of course we've got 4 ports on the board. And of course we've got the stickers, ROG stickers, and then we've also got the stickers which are for labelling your hard drive, your keybot, things like that. That helps. And then we've got the CD for utilities and also the drivers, a diagram of the motherboard, and then finally we have got this nice little card here which actually gives you some supplementary fan headers, and we're going to have a look at this a bit later, but that gives you extra ports, and we've got the corresponding cables to go with that and some screws. Okay, so here is Maximus VIII Impact. So if you've seen previous generations of the Impact, you'll see some strong similarities there in terms of the styling and also the layout. Now the main difference with this theme is that it's almost entirely black, but we don't mind that at all. And as with most dark boards like this, you're going to be able to pair it up with other hardware like your CPU cooler, your memory, your graphics card quite easily. Although by the time you do get all those parts connected, there may not be much of the board visible. So although this is a small board, we're still going to be checking out each of the features starting at the CPU socket. So of course, being an LJ1151 board, we have the support there for Intel's 6th generation of CPUs, aka Skylake. So you can drop any of the chips there from that family, such as your 6600K or your 6700K. Now, due to the limited space on this mini ITX board, specific features have to be carefully mapped out, and so the MOSFETs and the power delivery is all vertically positioned on a separate board. And that power delivery is completely digital, by the way, and we have a 6+2+2 phase design, and we have the 8-pin CPU power connector right next to that 24-pin ATX, and there is just a single CPU fan header in the top left-hand corner. So if you do need those extra fan headers, we do of course have that fan extension card which supplies you with another 3 headers, and that requires a Molex power connector from the power supply, and that can be fixed either to the chassis via your screws or 3M tape. Now it's worth noting that as with other boards in the ROG family, the Impact also adopts high quality components such as microfine alloy chokes, IR power stage MOSFETs and 10K black metallic caps. All of these components present us with the higher efficiency and the extended durability, and in fact you'll see some of these components on the Enthusiast X99 boards. So you get the idea here that we're dealing with durable components. Okay, so looking at the memory, we of course have allocation there for dual channel DDR4, but due to the size, we just have 2 slots on impact, but we do have the support there for up to 64 gig, up to 4133 megahertz, and as you'd expect, XMP 2.0 is fully compatible. And immediately next to the power, we have the single USB 3 header and the only fan header on the board, aside from the CPU fan, of course. Now, right next to that 24-pin power, we have what is known as QLED. So during the post-process, you may have a problem which relates to the CPU, the memory, or the graphics card, for example. And these tiny LEDs here will help you to identify any issues so that you can quickly make steps to resolve the problem. And as we move along, we arrive at some SATA storage ports, and these are all SATA 36G. There are 4 of them in total, and they are upwards facing. ASUS has also included a single U.2 port, which is positioned over towards the rear I/O section. Now, U.2 is still relatively new. There are very few drives really currently available, but this does obviously future-proof impact, and it gets you ready for what is coming. U.2, by the way, offers bandwidth of up to 32 gig, and another thing you'll notice is there is no M.2 functionality on this board, which is probably down to the lack of space, but even so, it is disappointing. Immediately next to the SATA ports, we have the small heatsink there, which covers the Intel Z170 chip, and then we have the Pci Express. Now, for our expansion cards, there is only a single Pci Express, since we are dealing with mini ITX. So this is a Pci Express 3.0 X16, and that operates in the full 16 lanes. Now again, due to the space limitations, the audio configuration on impact arrives in the form of a detachable module, which is called SupremeFX Impact 3. Now there are a trio of jacks on this unit, all of which emit an LED. The top one there is line in, which is blue, the middle is line out, which is green, and the third one is for the microphone, and that one is red. And then at the back of the unit, there is a port there for the front panel audio on your case. Now, SupremeFX includes the following. We have a protective metal shield there to prevent the noise interference. We've got the Realtek ALC1150, which is a very reliable codec, Nichicon audio caps, impedance sense IC, TI RC4580 headphone amp, ESS DAC, Sonic Sense amp, NEC Depop relay, and channel track separation. And so, even with a board of this size, you're still getting a feature-packed audio solution. And having tested this out already with the Sonic Studio 2, we can confirm that you're going to get a great sounding audio solution. Now, while the audio card is detached, we have the access there to the Pro Belt points. So here you can read the current voltage using a multimeter. So quite a handy thing to have really if you are overclocking. And then next to the Pro Belt, we have 2 jumpers which correspond to slow mode and LN2 mode. Slow mode allowing you to drop the frequency momentarily to prevent any crashes while you are doing that advanced overclocking. And with LN2 mode activated, the cold boot bug is resolved to help you through that post-process again during those overclocking sessions. Okay, and lastly we arrive at the rear I/O section of impact, and there are some unusual inclusions here. So from left to right we have the HDMI out, which is going to use the onboard graphics, optical audio, and then we have the vertically aligned daughter board here, which features LED debug, which is going to be used for the post-diagnostics, power and reset buttons, clear CMOS button, and the BIOS flashback button. And then next to that we've got a column of 4 USB 3 ports, and the lower one there actually works in conjunction with Keybot 2, and that allows you to apply macros and commands to a standard keyboard. And then we've got the Wi-Fi module, which is Wi-Fi Go. And the great thing with the Wi-Fi is it is dual band, and it also fully supports 802.11ac and Bluetooth 4.1. And then finally we have the Gigabit LAN, and that is via the Intel i219 controller, and LANguard anti-surge is also arriving with this. And below that we have the USB 3.1 Type A and Type C ports. Okay, so that concludes our look at the Maximus VIII Impact. So you should have picked up from our look at this board today that Impact may be pretty small, but it is jam-packed with those features which you would find on the bigger counterparts from the likes of the Hero. And those features haven't kind of just been slapped onto the board. It's pretty clear, pretty obvious that the layout has been carefully mapped out, and that features have been kind of placed in specific areas in order to maximize on the amount of space which is available. Now, some of the things which I think are great about this board are the fact we've got the U.2 support at the back, that fan header expansion card, really neat idea that. And we've also seen the SupremeFX, the audio solution, which is top notch, and of course the overclocking features, both from that power delivery up at the top and those buttons at the rear I/O section of the Impact. Now, the only thing that I would say is it would have been a great thing to have M.2 on this board. You know, with quite a few drives now available and attractive price points, users are kind of moving over to NVMe storage. But I do appreciate that there is a clear lack of space on this board here, and that it would have been pretty tricky, pretty difficult to implement it. Now, Impact isn't the cheapest board to pick up by any means. You know, a similar type of mini ITX board would be difficult to kind of find because, you know, the feature set and also the performance that you can expect. It would be tough to find something which matches up. And speaking of which, head over to the full review. The links are going to be on the screen and in the description. Over there, all the performance results, the best overclock that we could achieve with Impact. Our current milestone, by the way, is 4.8 with a 6700K. So have a look over there to see if we managed to reach that mark. So I really do hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. If you did, then please hit that like button. Please show your support by subscribing to the channel. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next Friday.